Oh man, another day, another Ubisoft video. I hear you, I do. But it's actually interesting. Ubisoft has officially delayed Assassin's Creed Shadows from its original November 2024 release date to February 14th, 2025, citing a need for further polish. While stating the game itself is feature complete, Ubisoft has decided to pull the game from public for the moment. Now, here's where we get interesting. The talk right now concerns Yasuki, the samurai story path in Shadows that you can choose. There were speculations directly following the Tokyo Game Show pull from Ubisoft that Yasuki may get axed from the game entirely, or adjusted in some ways. This has been recently debunked as false. Instead, they are apparently focusing on historical inaccuracies. Concerns about that started before the game's reveal following external playtests, and were accelerated further following the game's initial reveal and mass feedback. There's also talk about architectural details and overall grounding the aesthetics of the game. Isn't this kind of wild? We are talking about historical accuracy of an Assassin's Creed game.
Do not let a beautiful girl distract you from constructing my designs.
Have no worries. Women provide little distraction.
Wait, I don't get it.
How far have we fallen? This information was recently revealed exclusively for Insider Gaming, who was also told that historical experts were brought onto the project much later than usual for a project of this magnitude, and that miscommunication between teams and cutting corners when it came to the approval process of assets to meet deadlines were also at play. It does seem that no amount of money can get rid of obscene levels of incompetence. You've heard me talking about Tokyo Game Show at the start, and this convention was the reason most people got a lot of new information on the topic. Despite Ubisoft pulling out, there were still people with hands in the project or closely adjacent to Ubisoft. If you can trust the second-hand information, some of them claim that Shadows was simply pulled out of the convention as a direct result of Ubisoft's stock nosedive. Following the poor Outlaws performance, Ubisoft decided not to follow up the performance of a bad product with another product, as it would simply taint any potential bounce back. So more than anything, it's this game that kind of pushed down the stairs this one. It's almost amusing that Ubisoft is just now getting worried about their image and how it could affect any other titles. There's been a controversy about pretty much every single title they have released since they started copying other titles in their own franchises. There's basically a stream of new information on the Ubisoft situation every day. To bundle it up for this video, it's easy to see just from a simple search that something is not quite right. It's difficult to prove yourself in an industry where lagging behind more successful studios with actual ideas and subsequently copying said ideas will not only be obvious to your entire audience, but you also don't bother changing the homework half the time. It's been always somewhat confirmed from multiple sources that Shadows will not be coming out this year, but if Ubisoft plans to wait until this line turns green, I wouldn't bet on next year either. No doubt Ubisoft had and still has a prominent future. Despite the executives doing everything in their power to scorch what's left of the franchises they own, there's not only a strong fan base behind them, but every now and then even optimism that Ubisoft wakes up. For the moment, the best we can do is uninstall this thing and wait for the studio that came up with the first ever to give up and start over. As someone who to this day is absolutely unwilling to forgive they completely humiliated this entire storyline, I am fine with just ignoring their products. There are better games out there, you know.